Hello everyone, the short video. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Juwan. In the short video, I'm going to explain how sugar affects the body. Now, here's the thing. This is the 21st century. We weren't actually made to take in the amount of sugar that we are taking in today. The average person takes in 160 pounds. 160 pounds of sugar per day. And that's not including the hidden sugars like in alcohol, in wine, in liquor, in, that's all the same thing, in breads, in pastas, in baby food. I had a patient come in the other day and he takes in literally 6 cans of Coca-Cola per day, and he starts off his morning with a Monster drink. So you figure, again, this is just on the average, and I was just blown away. I was amazed how this guy is even still alive. But the thing is, again, so how sugar affects the body. Now, when we take in food, it's broken down, and sugar gets into the bloodstream. Now, the function of insulin, which is a hormone released by the pancreas, it's made by, we have cells in the pancreas called beta cells. Beta cells produce insulin. The function of insulin is to lower the blood sugar and store fat if we have too much, okay? But the main thing is to lower the blood sugar, to bring actually the sugar into the cell, to lower it from the bloodstream. Now what happens in the liver, okay, because the liver takes a beating when we have out of control sugar problems, especially in regards to insulin. So we have the liver, okay, so insulin comes in, it meets a receptor. Now receptor says, hello, let's come on in and we'll process it and so forth and so on. So again, the goal is to lower the sugar in the bloodstream and also to not have the liver be so affected by it, okay? So then what happens when you take in too much sugar, okay, too much sugar over time, now you get a condition called type 2 diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune condition where the pancreas is just not making any insulin. Okay, that's type 1, that's autoimmune. Type 2 is something you acquire over time for the fact that you may have heard a word like insulin resistant. You'll start insulin resistance, then you'll start to get, then result as type 2 diabetes, which can be reversed. Okay, how'd you get to be a type 2 diabetic? Very simple, stop doing that, reverse it, and you'll be fine. So what happens is that there's just too much insulin floating around the cell to the point where, again, the receptor shuts down. Now when the receptor shuts down, remember the function of insulin is two things. One is to lower the blood sugar, but also two, increase fat storage. So then what happens? You have too much sugar, okay, because the receptor shut down, so you have too much floating blood sugar. So then you increase fat deposition, particularly in the belly. Okay, increases cholesterol, increases blood pressure. Why? Because you have too much floating insulin in the body due to taking in too much sugar. Okay, so then what happens if you go to your medical professional, okay, your medical practitioner? What do they give you? They give you metformin. Metformin or glucophage, which is the same thing. Now the function of metformin is to make the receptor connect with the insulin. Now remember, the receptor shut down. It's like you're in the grocery store and you're screaming out for your kid, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. Okay, Johnny shut down. Now the function of, again, metformin is to say, hey Johnny, come on, connect. The problem is now you're just flooded with too much, okay? So then there's a side effect. What happens with the side effects is you get what's called lactic acidosis. Which lactic acidosis, what's going on is that you have a decreased oxygen content in your bloodstream, well, in the red blood cell, which inversely you're going to have too much carbon dioxide. Okay, lactic acidosis. So that's going to possibly lead to liver failure and kidney failure. All right, because remember the kidneys actually control the blood pressure. So what do you do if you have type 2 diabetes? It's reversible. How'd you get in the first place? Stop doing what you're doing and reverse it. It's going to take some time, but you got to play by the rules. First and foremost, remove all the refined sugars. Take that out of your diet. Take the grains away. Take the dairy away. Take the alcohol away. Alcohol is just empty calories. Okay, the GMO foods and the hydrogenated oils. Okay, remove that from the diet. You want to clean up your diet. Then you want to take some supplements. Chromium picolinate. Chromium picolinate, 200 micrograms daily, will make the cell more insulin sensitive. Okay? Also, cinnamon. Cinnamon, just sprinkle it on your food daily. What that's going to do, that's going to help make the cells more insulin sensitive. You'll actually eat less because why? Now you're stabilizing your blood sugar. Fish oil, phenomenal for overall systemic health. It's good for your brain, it's good for your body, it's good for, again, to make your cells more insulin sensitive. Alpha lipoic acid, 600 milligrams daily, phenomenal. One, antioxidant, because why? Antioxidant because you're pulverizing your liver. The liver has over 400 functions of the body. One of them is to control your blood sugar. Also, too, most important, I always encourage all my patients this: exercise. Exercise, exercise, exercise. What does exercise mean? If you could only walk around the block. I had a patient of mine, he was only able to walk around the block. He started off with one block, eventually went to 2, 3, 4, 5. He lost about 150 pounds and he's entering his first marathon. Good for him. So, but the thing is, when we exercise, when we take in carbohydrates, it's broken down to the simplest form called glucose. Glucose gets stored as glycogen. 75% is stored in the muscle, 25% of it's stored in the liver. Okay? What do you think is happening to the liver here? So when you exercise, you're actually utilizing that stored glycogen, the stored energy. So you're actually pulling from the muscle while you exercise. You're pulling from the liver when you exercise. And how that's beneficial is because you're making your cells more insulin sensitive, as well as watching your diet. You will turn that type 2 diabetes around in no time at all. All right, so again, sugar. It's not the fat that you're worried about that I'm always talking to my patients about. It's the sugar in the diet that you want to watch out about. All right? So I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next video. Please hit the like button. Please share with a friend. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Be good. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jawad. Hey, over the last couple of years, my YouTube channel has grown tremendously, and I can only appreciate it, the viewers who subscribe. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button to get the first up-to-date videos, or you could always Google my name, Dr. Janan Jawad, and you could go to my JDoc Real Minute page. Again, if you hit the subscribe button, you'll get the most up-to-date videos, and thanks to everybody who's watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.